Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
It's a lot colder than yesterday this morning, with temperatures mostly in the low to mid 20s. That doesn't figure in the wind chill. I'll show you what it will really feel like as you step out the door.
And Wake County's largest sporting event happening today will have plenty of spectators. But athletes competing in the Visit Raleigh Girls College Showcase tell us they're willing to brave the cold to achieve their goals.
Plus, porch pirates stealing from Cary homes may be linked to an organized crime ring. We'll tell you how to protect your packages this holiday season after 20 homes were targeted. Very frustrating that kind of thing even happens as it runs counter to the spirit of the season, right? Well, we made it to Friday. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock and it is a frigid Friday. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Lovingett in for Jeff Hogan. Yeah, the other day, not yesterday, but the day before, it was in the 20s when we woke up. Then 40s yesterday and then 20s again as you're waking up this morning. So definitely get that puffy coat, Elizabeth. It's going to be a frigid one out.
Hey, Chris, you're doing a good job of keeping track of this. We take a look at Durham, looking beautiful with the Lucky Strike Tower all lit up this morning. Our temperature in the Triangle is 26. The big change came because we switched the wind with a cold front yesterday. Behind that front, our winds are now coming out of the northwest, so air coming straight from Canada. The wind chill is in the box on the right, so it feels like 20 in Southern Pines, 18 in Fayetteville, 16 in Goldsboro, 19 in Rocky Mount, 22 in the Triangle. So that's what you need to prepare for this morning. Our actual temperature this afternoon will be in the low 40s, but we'll walk through the temperature in terms of the wind chill for the entire day coming up. Anthony?
And Elizabeth, as you're headed out to the roads this morning, of course, with that cold, you're going to want to crank that heat up nice and high. But thankfully, you won't have any traffic at the moment to deal with. One crash, though, that I want to make you aware of that popped up here over the past 5 minutes. This one currently is right around the Archer Lodge area. There is Buffalo Road right there. And so this is running in that direction of the southbound lanes there. Otherwise, no major crashes, and this one does not look to be slowing things down too much. But we'll keep an eye on it for you through the morning.
Anthony, thanks. Thousands of fans, players, and families will have to brave the cold during a major sporting event today. The Visit Raleigh Girls Showcase begins at 9:30 this morning. WRAL's Destiny Patterson joins us live from the WRAL Soccer Park in North Raleigh. Destiny, good morning to you. People will have to figure out a way to stay warm in these temperatures, and I hope you are.
Yeah, trying my best. Definitely got my layers on, and that's something that the athletes will have to do as well. Take a look at our WRAL Severe Weather app. You can see we're not even at 30 degrees right now, and it's going to continue to be very cold throughout the day today. And this is Wake County's largest sporting event based on hotel bookings and visitor spending. Last year, the series welcomed more than 72,000 visitors. It gives these soccer players the chance to meet college coaches from all over the region and compete against teams from across the country. NCFC says athletes need to make sure they're properly hydrated, properly stretched, and warmed up before playing. And this is important in order to prevent injuries. One athlete says she's willing to brave the weather in order to reach her goals.
You have to bring so many layers, and it's like there's so many things you need to bring and prepare for, and I think you just need to be like more over-prepared than under-prepared.
For some fields, we'll delay the start, so we may not start at 8 o'clock. We may push that time so that the fields can clear up from frost.
The youth marketing officer that you just heard from there, she says that they, of course, will also have trainers on site, and that way they'll be prepared if, and hopefully there won't be any injuries, but they will be out here in to make sure that they're ready for that. And also, you know, in the cold, that is when injuries are more likely to happen. So again, making sure that the athletes are properly stretched and warmed up before they hit the field. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
The Wake County Sheriff's Office is raising money for a good cause today. The Cops on Top fundraiser is happening from 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Rand Village Chick-fil-A. That's on Fayetteville Road near Garner, if you're familiar. The Sheriff's Office is raising money for the Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics North Carolina. Local law enforcement will be throughout the store to collect donations. A driver is in custody and accused of leading state troopers on a high-speed chase this morning. Troopers tell us they tried to stop a vehicle going more than 100 miles per hour on I-440. This was around 1:30 this morning. The driver then exited at Glenwood Avenue. That's when a trooper performed a pit maneuver to stop the car and arrest the driver. As for charges, those are pending.
The organization that accredits St. Augustine's University holds its annual meeting this weekend. Last December, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges voted to remove St. Augustine's membership due to financial issues. After an appeal was denied in February, the arbitration committee reinstated the university's accreditation on probation in July. There was a follow-up visit last month, and the board will vote on SAU's next step this weekend. Last month, St. Aug announced it was cutting staffing in half and offering fewer classes in order to reduce expenses.
New this morning, investigators identified 6-year-old Roman Mendez and 5-year-old Elias Wolford as the students shot at the California school this week. Those two students are in critical condition at the hospital. Both suffered internal injuries and will undergo surgeries. Authorities also identified the shooter as 59-year-old Glenn Litton. Investigators say Litton was found dead on the school's playground, and they believe this was from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The FBI is investigating with this.
We're working to learn who the 4 people are who died in a fiery head-on crash in Wilson County. This happened on US 301 shortly before 5 p.m. yesterday near Mobley Road in Lucama. The road was closed for hours as firefighters put out flames and cleared the wreckage. Investigators say a car driving south in the northbound lane collided head-on with another car. One car burst into flames, the other overturned. Witnesses say the scene was something they will never forget.
I'm just so sad because that's what I said. It was a really bad wreck. It just freaked me out. I've seen wrecks and I've never seen that much debris in the road.
And that witness, Christina McDougal, says if she had been on the road minutes earlier, it could have been her. Investigators say there were 2 people in each car. All 4 died at the scene.
An organized crime group may be responsible for thefts at 20 Cary homes. Warrants say the group planned the thefts knowing iPhones and electronics were in the packages. Look at this video here. This footage shows a thief disguised as a DoorDash driver stealing a package minutes after it was delivered. One suspect admitted to the crime ring, and they said iPhone thieves were paid up to $150 per phone. Warrants also reveal a hacker in the group had inside knowledge of AT&T deliveries. That's something cybersecurity specialist Grant Gibson calls pretty troubling.
And all it takes for a hacker is to be right once to get through the defenses, where FedEx has to be, or AT&T has to be 100% accurate to keep them out.
Gibson recommends requesting a signature requirement for deliveries. 4 people face charges in connection with these crimes, and Cary police are working with the FBI and AT&T in their investigation.
Durham police have filed nearly 200 juvenile petitions against 3 teenagers accused in a series of car break-ins. The suspects are ages 15, 16, and 17. The crimes happened at these 5 different locations between the night of November 13th and the morning of November 14th. The charges include 37 counts of breaking and entering, 7 counts of misdemeanor larceny, and other charges involving the theft of a firearm, a motor vehicle, and 15 counts of conspiracy. Durham police want to remind you to always lock your vehicle.
Wake County deputies charged a student with bringing a gun to school. This happened yesterday at River Oaks Middle on New Bern Avenue. A school resource officer received a report of a gun on campus, and during a search, officers did find an unloaded firearm in the gymnasium.
2 men face attempted murder charges in Wake County. Deputies say 42-year-old Dagoberto Lozano Carcamo and 37-year-old Julio Flores Carcamo tried to rob someone at gunpoint on October 7th in Creedmoor. The victim said shots were fired, but no one was hurt. Both men also face felony conspiracy charges.
This morning, we'll get a clearer idea of where the labor market is headed. The Bureau of Labor Statistics will release the November jobs report at around 8:30. Economists are expecting 17 times more employment gains than we saw in October. This is, of course, just one perspective of how the economy is doing. The Federal Reserve will meet soon, and experts are betting another interest rate cut will happen.
This morning, jury deliberations resume in the trial of Daniel Penny. The Camp Lejeune Marine veteran is charged with killing a man on a subway train. The jury has been deliberating since Tuesday. They will determine if his actions were justified or if he went too far when he put Jordan Neely in a nearly 6-minute-long chokehold. Neely died after the encounter. Prosecutors argue Penny had the right intentions but went too far. The defense says Penny was responding to a threat and that Neely died aside from a combination of factors.
This weekend, the Notre Dame Cathedral is reopening. It's been under reconstruction for 5 years after a fire in 2019. 50 heads of state are expected to attend the reopening ceremony, including President-elect Donald Trump. Today's Craig Melvin was in Paris to cover the fire in 2019, and this morning he returns with a live preview with Archbishop of New York, Cardinal Timothy Dolan. Your time is 6:09. A historically powerful earthquake shook parts of California. This morning, hear why it still wasn't as destructive as experts thought.
Plus, we have your out and about best bets for a festive holiday weekend in the Triangle.
And it will be festively chilly, especially today and tomorrow. The wind chill right now is in the teens to low 20s across our area. I'll show you what it will feel like all the way through the afternoon coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
612. Take a look at this gorgeous site here. This is a live look down Fayetteville Street from our Jimmy V camera. Raleigh Memorial Auditorium looking gorgeous with the Christmas tree right in front. It is a chilly start out there. Wind chill is going to be our biggest issue for today. Our temperatures right now are in the mid-20s, but in most places it feels like teens, and it's going to feel like that up until around 9 a.m. At lunchtime, it'll feel like 32, and it only feels like mid-30s this afternoon. So as you're headed out the door to walk the dog, the gloves are going to be key this morning. You're trying to hold on to the leash, your hand is freezing. So just be prepared. Our highs this afternoon are only in the low 40s. It is dry into the weekend. We're going to see a completely different day on Saturday versus Sunday weather-wise. I'll show you coming up, Anthony.
Elizabeth, as we head out to the roads this morning, one crash to tell you about. Otherwise, things are looking pretty calm, thankfully. But this one is southeast there of the city of Raleigh, closer to Archer Lodge at this point. Buffalo Road southbound at Covered Bridge Road. But you can see that's really moving along pretty well. There's no major delays with that one. Otherwise, though, those major approaches into both Raleigh and Durham, I've been watching those pretty closely. Zero there, looking really good for I-40 this morning.
And happening now in the WRAL Live Center, I want to take you right to these live pictures from Baltimore. This is actually what you're looking at of the hoses from firefighters who've been working all night to contain a massive wood fire. We've got some video of what they had to deal with earlier in the night because the firefighters were saying strong winds really fueled this massive fire at a Baltimore wood waste collection yard. Interstate 83 and the commuter rail have been shut down as a result of crews containing this fire. This began shortly before 5 p.m. Last night in a large storage area with trees and logs stacked about 30 feet tall. You can see the massive fire right there that they had to deal with yesterday. Authorities say strong winds really made it rather difficult for firefighters to finally contain it, but they don't believe evacuations are needed this morning. But you can see a reporter from the Baltimore stations right now getting ready to update the situation there in Baltimore. But firefighters have definitely contained this huge wood fire there in Baltimore.
One of the strongest earthquakes in California's history did not generate a tsunami after warnings were issued. Preliminary data gives the earthquake a magnitude of 7.0 off the northern coast of California and into Oregon. 3,000 customers were without power in one county. It has since been restored. The U.S. Geological Survey says they have not received reports of landslides or significant damage at last check.
South Korea's ruling party leader says President Yoon Suk-yeol needs to be removed from power. This is about the president imposing martial law. The leader of the People Power Party told reporters he received, quote, credible evidence Yoon was misusing his power, specifically trying to use troops to arrest key political figures during the short-lived martial decree on Tuesday. There are fears Yoon could potentially declare martial law again. The acting defense minister has denied this, though. Lawmakers will vote on a motion to impeach the president as early as tomorrow.
French President Emmanuel Macron is vowing to stay in office until the end of his term. During an address to the nation last night, he announced that he will name a new prime minister within days after the resignation of ousted Prime Minister Michel Barnier. The no confidence vote against Barnier marks the first time a French government has been toppled in more than 60 years. Macron blamed his opponents on the far right for bringing down the government.
It is officially the holiday season with Christmas parades, holiday markets, and of course, tree lightings all brightening the weekend.
Let's take a look at this weekend's best bets, starting with a tree lighting in Cary. Downtown Cary's tree lighting celebration is this weekend. Events will be held all day tomorrow. This is video of last year's event. What a beautiful tree. There will be food trucks, ice skating, performances. The official tree lighting ceremony will be at 6 p.m. Roads in downtown Cary will be closed throughout the day. The event is free and open to the public, and WRAL's Deborah Morgan will MC the event.
And if you need to mark off some items on your Christmas list, a holiday market in Raleigh might just be able to help. The Jolly Raleigh Holiday Market is happening tomorrow at the Raleigh Ironworks. This event is the perfect opportunity to sip and shop local. It is free to attend, and it's open from noon until 6.
And if you want some holiday-themed entertainment this weekend, you have a few options. Tonight through Sunday, Ira David Wood III's musical comedy adaptation, A Christmas Carol, returns to the Martin Marietta Center. There are 4 performances scheduled. Tickets are still available for all shows. They start at $30. And tomorrow, the Cary Ballet will perform the holiday classic, The Nutcracker. It is also happening at the Martin Marietta Center. 2 performances, one at 1:30, the other at 5:30. Tickets are still available, and those start at $45. For more on these events and others, head to WRAL.com and search Out and About. It is a packed weekend of stuff.
But certainly a way to make people feel like they're in the holiday spirit. And because it's winter time and because it's so cold outside, that's the perfect way to feel like you're going into the holiday spirit, Elizabeth.
Yeah, definitely the temperatures are getting us in the spirit for sure, unless it's making you grumpy like Scrooge. I don't know. I'm not talking to you, Chris Levengood, at all. Pavement looking pretty this morning. Just a little bit of daylight there on the horizon. Apex looking nice with the holiday decorations. And of course, we're so excited to have our towers, not just here in our backyard, but in Durham, the Lucky Strike Tower and at Rocky Mount Mills, all lit up through the holidays, looking beautiful there. Chapel Hill is courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. And we're looking at sort of like 2 different weather patterns for the weekend. Today, 42, 49 on Saturday, and look at our huge jump for Sunday. We're going to see warmer temperatures streaming in, and Sunday really looks like the best day of the weekend to get outside if you have something you need to get done, like I need to work on my Christmas decorations. Wind chill today is just going to feel bitter to be outside. We're in the teens across most of the viewing area in terms of the wind chill. It'll feel like 32 at lunchtime, and it will only feel like the mid-30s through the afternoon, even with lots of sunshine. It's just going to be enough wind to make it feel uncomfortable. Overnight tonight, we're looking at another hard freeze, 17 in Southern Pines, 21 in Fayetteville, 20 in Rocky Mount, 17 in Roxborough. Temperatures tonight may be even colder, I should say tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning may be even colder than this morning. This high pressure system rotating clockwise, grabbing a lot of Arctic air and pushing it right into North Carolina, and that will continue. Once that high moves away, we move into a completely different pattern. We get into another southwesterly flow, warming things up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll see the potential for rain each of those 3 days, but the heaviest rain may end up being on Wednesday as the front itself comes through. We may start on the dry side on Monday morning, but Monday afternoon, the rain starts to push in. It'll be a slow moving front bringing rain for us on Tuesday. But when the front itself comes through Wednesday, we may see some of the heavier rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms with that. Once that swings through, we're back into a colder pattern again. Our precipitation forecast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 1 to 2 inches of much needed rain. Take a look at our drought status. This week, we went to moderate drought for almost the entire viewing area and a lot of the state of North Carolina. So we definitely need that precipitation that will roll in. No chance of snow. Look at that. We go from temperatures in the 40s to 60s on Sunday, and that stays with us into much of next week. So it'll be good to see some of that rain, and at least it won't happen over the weekend. So many fun holiday events happening.
Yeah, well, thankfully, Elizabeth, this morning, roads are looking good, too, to kick us off. I'm sure we're going to be very, very busy here. I-40 the next couple of days here at Aviation Parkway. Looking really good, though. Those cars are moving along smoothly. We do have, of course, that normal morning congestion, but no backups are showing up on our sensors right now. Everything looking good, all in the green at the moment. 0-minute delays, which is always good on a Friday morning. One crash, though, to tell you about. This one is on Buffalo Road southbound at Cover Bridge Road. There is Archer Lodge, and I was checking some of those sensors. In fact, it looks like in the past 5 minutes they are looking better. So we'll continue to keep watching it, but that is the only crash this morning.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. The search is on for UNC's next head football coach, and the pool of applicants pretty broad. In addition to former Patriots coach Bill Belichick, we'll explain who else could be considered.
And the woman who snuck on board a plane is back in the States and charged for her crime, the punishment she could face for her illegal flight to Paris.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
You could be the next Dolly Parton in her upcoming musical.
Let's take a look at what's trending this morning. The country music icon is holding an open casting call for her Broadway play, Dolly, an original musical. She's looking for actors, both experienced and inexperienced, to play her through all stages of her life. Actors can sign up at dollymusical.com. And you know, I'm going to bet that there are a lot of people that are going to audition for that. It's Dolly.
I bet. And I hope she can appear in her own musical at the very end, right? She is an original. Her whole story is made for a musical. Fans will love that.
I think so.
A fan favorite menu item is returning to McDonald's next year. The fast food chain confirmed the return of the snack wrap on X. Company officials say we have social media to thank for its return, as many fans have been requesting and petitioning it for years. Oh, I love the snack wrap.
But
it's the perfect size. It has the crispy.
But just keep it, right? It's a marketing ploy, right? They take it away and then, oh, we're bringing it back. And then same thing for the McRib. Oh, it's the tour. It's going out. And then it's back again. Marketing 101. Capitalism. How about that?
It is the end of an era for Taylor Swift and her fans. This weekend's concerts in Vancouver will be the last of the record-breaking Eras Tour. Swift has been on tour across 5 continents for nearly 2 years now. The tour shattered sales and attendance records and created a generous economic boost in each city it stopped at.
And for the Chiefs, right? All right, tonight, couples across the Triangle will dance the night away to the magic of Motown. It's Durham Parks and Recreation's 52nd annual holiday party. People 55 years and up will enjoy dinner, dancing, and catching up with friends. This party will be at the Sheraton Hotel and Convention Center from 5:30 until 8:30. And hey, Ken Smith is the MC for that, so you can say hi to him. Tickets, though, they're sold out.
Not surprised, sold out tickets to see Ken Smith for sure. It is cold at the bus stop this morning. Temperatures are in the teens in terms of the wind chill, so make sure everybody's bundled up. I'll walk you through the rest of the day's wind chill coming up.
Plus, thousands of people are braving the cold to attend a major soccer showcase in Raleigh. How athletes are working to avoid injuries in the frigid temperatures.
And what a wild finish in last night's Green Bay-Detroit game. The score was tied at 31 with less than 43 seconds left on the clock. The bold 4th down call that Lions coach Dan Campbell made that kept fans on the edge of their seats.